Hi you guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the channel. It is the moment of truth today, and I am extremely nervous. We are going to fill up the car with fluids. We're gonna do some dry turns with the steering wheel to get some power steering fluid moving through the system because we need to bleed that. I'm gonna loosen that cap now so I don't forget. Because we need to get some fluid in the power steering rack, because if you remember, we did swap to the Chase Bay's power steering system, which I'm a little bit nervous some of those fittings might leak. If they do, I'm gonna have to go under there, drop the power steering rack, retighten down all those fittings, and that's just not something I'm looking forward to do. I did already put power to the car. I did scan for any codes. Right now we have no codes on the car, which is a good sign, but we haven't even started it yet, so of course we don't know. So game plan for this, we're gonna get it started to be filled up with some fluids. We need to do all of them: oil, power steering, and coolant right now. So what I have over here is just OEM Subaru power steering fluid, Motul 8100 XS 5W40 Gen 2, and then 3 gallons of the Subaru coolant, of course the coolant funnels and the oil funnel, just to be able to fill everything up. I mean, whenever we do this is what, the first start we've done on this car, and we've had problems every single time. So everything, literally everything on this car, with the exception of the short block, has been swapped out and replaced with either something OEM or aftermarket at this point. So we should not have any more issues. Fingers crossed on that. We have like everything's been replaced with the exception of like the alternator, new power steering pump, everything, which I am kind of happy with having no AC in here, because this just frees up a ton of room. But let's get this thing started to fill up with fluids. I already tested fuel pressure. Also, well, so before we fill it up with fluids, I already tested fuel pressure. We have no fuel leaks anywhere, which is a good sign to start with. So let's get some fluids in this thing and get to this first start, so that way my anxiety can just go away at this point. All right, let's get this light off the hood, so that way when we go to start this, we don't hear any unnecessary rattling and it doesn't scare the shit out of me. Only those who have gone through this same procedure of doing a first start like this multiple times knows the level of anxiety that you get when doing this, and it is unreal. It's not fun, it's not enjoyable. Oil cap needs to come off, dipstick is in its home. Let's get the oil funnel on there. There we go. Let's get our Chase Bay's cap off, so that way we can bleed this power steering system. Does that red one work? Red one worked perfect. All right, coolant funnel, let's get you on. We used the red one last time. Red guy. Boop. And then we got this little cap. Bam. Now coolant funnel can go on. I'm gonna wipe this thing down real quick. See, we got coolant funnel. Look at all those funnels. Look at that. Look at all these funnels. We got funnels for days. I think we should start with coolant. Oh yeah, coolant. Yes. Go, 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 go. More coolant. Man, this thing takes a lot of coolant. I mean, I guess when you have no coolant in the car, I guess it makes sense. Grab a rag, wipe up any spilt coolant, because we don't like it on the floor. Someone called me grandma for that, but you know what? I'm all about it. Call me grandma. Be your grandma. Is this coolant gonna go anywhere else now? Nope. Solid right there. Now let's do oil. Let's do some engine oil. Oh yeah, we happy, we getting engine oil. Bloop, 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 bloop. Get in your home engine oil. I could cut a hole in the bottom of this. I know someone's gonna say it, but I'm gonna reuse this container for old oil. Okay, we'll let that settle out for a minute. We'll do some power steering fluid. We need a decent amount of that, I can tell you that much. All right, so we have fluids. This we're gonna have to drain with the car on, just so that way it can get pressure to suck all of the fluid out. We do have coolant in the system. I went through massage the upper hose here, the lower hose down there. We have engine oil. We'll have to top that off after the car has been running. The fuel pump is currently disconnected. The crank position sensor is currently disconnected. So let's turn this thing over. Let's get some oil pressure built. I'll probably turn this over a couple times because everything's nice and fresh in there. We do have assembly lube on everything that has like metal to metal contact in there, but I do want to get a nice film of oil over like all the valves, the valve buckets, everything like that. So, I mean, if it turns over nicely, I'm assuming it'll start nicely, because if it turns over rough, we'll hear something. So, I mean, I guess this is still kind of moment of truth. So, I mean, we'll find out. Nothing mechanical crap wise is in there. We're Gucci.
She going down.
What? Oh, power steering?
Yeah.
Oh, Gucci. You think if I turn the steering wheel, anything's gonna happen with that power steering now?
Maybe. I think you need it running. We got some bubbles? The bubbles!
Oh, my steering wheel locked, hold up. In the power steering we got bubbles?
We got the bubbles!
I assume at this point we've got oil pressure built. We do a crank position sensor, I'll get fuel pump, and then at that point we're ready to rock.
Okay. She sounds fine.
Yeah, sounds beautiful, just like cranking over. If a valve was smacking anything, we'd hear it. So this video is about to go one of two ways. I'm either going to be ecstatic and extremely happy and pumped, or we're gonna go back and be sad for like 10 minutes, then figure out a solution to this game plan. But everything theoretically should be solid. Everything's replaced, everything is like measured correctly, everything is clean, everything is good to go, everything's torqued correctly. It's just extremely nerve-wracking. It's always extremely nerve-wracking, especially when you go to this extent. This is my first time building a set of heads like this, putting them in the car myself, and doing all this, like all of this myself. So I'm nervous. I got the rear of the car off jack stand, so that way the front is elevated a little bit more, so it's gonna be a little bit easier to burp the car. Fuel pump is connected back up. Crank position sensors connected back up. So the whole gang of the house wants to watch the first startup, so let me go grab them. Let's start it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, got him. Let's see what happens.
Wait, are you gonna start it?
Yeah, go say your prayer. Say the prayer.
Okay. In the name of the rods, the crank, and the holy ringlands, bless us, O boost gods, for the combustion in which we are about to receive. May your grace shine on our turbocharged EJ, and may your wisdom bestow upon us great fortune.
Laughing so hard and crying.
Why do we have
We do the hot
We already have a code!
Stop! Don't tell me that!
What is this code for?
No AC.
Please wait. Fuel temp sensor, crank position sensor. Hang on, let me reset this. Check engine light's gone.
Oh boy.
Ready?
What?
The pink.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, that's power steering. We knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, but his face was under the car.
Yeah.
Move your hand.
That's just your holy header. Kind of smoking off.
That's probably fine. That's probably old oil from when the oil pump was leaking.
It might also be if this would smoke, because when you turned it on, this flew.
That's normal.
Yeah. No, it was coming from over here. It was from the
It's from the header.
holy header, yeah.
Okay, it's probably residual oil from when the oil pump was leaking.
Yeah, I mean everything's clear, so.
All right, starting back up.
Now that it's running through the wheel.
It'll actually start sucking now. Dude, now it sounds fucking bad. It's crazy how much of a difference it sounds. That sounds is actually opening and closing at the right duration now. That sounds insane. Let me give it a little bit of gas. Watch your hands. It died.
You realize in relearned idle.
Yeah. We'll put some more fluids in. You said you wanted to top off power steering. What's smoking back on the turbo? Come on, baby. I'll just let it relearn. Yeah, because you don't even want to start. Intake cam 1, right hand position timing over advanced or system preferred. P0011. Alright, time to do some Googling. P0011. Alright guys, so first start went pretty smooth. We do have one issue. We're throwing a code for P0011, which is intake cam, bank 1 over advanced. So we're pulling off the timing cover right now to see what's going on with it. The power steering fluid reservoir just peed everywhere also, but the car sounds insane now. It actually sounds cammed like it should have. So all the buckets, all valve lash, everything seems to be working. One thing that could potentially be an issue is if it is over advancing timing on bank 1, that could be because we decked the heads. If a head is decked too many times, it can change the length of, it can slightly change where the cam gears sit. And with that being said, if that is the case, then obviously coolant's gonna have to come back out. It's gonna be a lot more expensive. I'm gonna have to overnight this stuff before our tune next week. I will not miss that tune day. But we're pulling this off right now to see what's going on. So we'll give an update here shortly, but we're gonna try pulling this timing cover off and seeing what we can get done. All right, so the car is yet again torn back apart. So we think that the issue, it was an oil control valve issue with the AVCS. So we swapped around the AVCS solenoids from left to right and right to left because one of them was reading, one of them was not. It was always at 0, so one of them was pulling timing, the other one wasn't. So what we did, or what we concur the problem probably was the FP turbo feed line, because where's that fitting? This is the fitting that was in there before. If you can see the bottom, a banjo bolt goes on the bottom, and then on the top, an AN fitting goes on that, and that's the line for it down there. So we swapped back over to the IAG setup in there, but this one, we just think that the AVCS wasn't getting enough oil. When we pulled out the AVCS solenoids, one of them was, I don't want to say dry, it was probably slightly lubricated, while the other one was like coated in oil. So let's reassemble this, let's put a little bit more coolant back in it, probably a little bit more oil since we lost oil and coolant while we were pulling stuff off. Start it back up, we'll clear the codes, hopefully everything is gone code-wise and everything is solid. I was a little worried about the turbo being cooked, but when we pulled the oil feed line off for the turbo, there was definitely still oil coming out of it. Just everything that I saw online relating to P0011 had to deal with turbo failure. So it was probably AVCS. The AVCS couldn't supply the turbo with oil, so hopefully from here, it's just smooth. We just want smooth sailing from here. So let's reassemble this, start it back up, and hopefully the problem is gone. Well, it's the next day, you guys, and I physically don't know how many more problems I can actually run into with this car. So the car, yes, it did start, it did run. It did the pinging or the ticking, the clinking, the clanking, whatever noise you want to call it, is gone. So the valve issue is fixed. It's just more problems like every single time. I don't know if this car just hates me. I don't know if it's testing me. I just don't know. I literally don't know. I have never had a car ever, and I've had a lot of cars. I have never had a car that simply just doesn't want to run. I've just never experienced this. So since getting it running, we were consistently getting code P0011, which is over advanced intake cam, left-hand side. So it's the driver's side, left-hand head, left-hand cam, left-hand side. So it's bank 2. Now, originally we tried swapping around the AVCS solenoid because some people got mad that I called it solenoid. We swapped those around because one of the solenoids wasn't in sync with the other one. So we thought, okay, maybe we just have a bad AVCS solenoid. Swapped them around, let the car idle up to temp, 140 degrees. They got back in sync. Everything was happy there. We swapped from the FP oil feed to the turbo, back over to the IAG one. I had to go buy one at the mod garage, which huge thank you to Brian for having one of those in stock, because that definitely fixed the oil leak that we were having. Now we have a new issue, another issue, all the issues. This car has all the issues. So it's somewhat back apart. Now, you'll see timing is exposed. Now I know for a fact, I know 100% for a fact I had timing right. I know timing was right. It's still right here on right hand side or right hand intake cam. Right hand exhaust cam is still good. Crank is still good. Right hand exhaust is good. Left hand exhaust is good. Left hand intake though is off by about a tooth to half a tooth or so. So you guys can see the yellow mark right there. If you look at it from directly above, the yellow mark is to the left of the timing mark on the timing cover. That little like groove right there in between the teeth is what's actually lined up with it. So our timing is off on the car. Now, it's one problem after another. With the tune being on Wednesday or Thursday, I think it's Thursday, so that actually might play out to our benefit here. Now there are other symptoms of P0011, which some people are saying could be the cam gear itself being dirty, but I know those cam gears are clean. 100%, I know they're clean, I know they're good, I know they're functioning. It's not like we just rebuilt a motor, put them back on there, and they decided to fail. That's just not, it's a possibility, but it's not a huge possibility. So that issue right there is what we need to figure out and address. It's always something. It's literally always something different with this car, and I actually don't know at this point if this car just physically doesn't want to survive, if it doesn't want to run, and if it just doesn't want to be back on the road. Like, you're actually starting to break me, 05 STI. This car, I'm still referring to it as karma. It's still karma because it just keeps kicking me. Don't know why, but I'm gonna order these pulleys. Hopefully that corrects the issue. But I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't even know. Like, there's nothing else it could be. Both AVCS solenoids are good. They're both in sync with one another. The oil feed issue is fixed. There's no oil leaks. The only thing that it can possibly be at this point is physical timing or that cam gear. Like, I don't even, or the fact that we have too much slop in the timing belt. So it just sucks. Like, it's always something. It's always something with this car. So I might take like a day break from working on this thing and just skip an upload day just to like recollect. I don't know yet. Plus, I gotta wait for these cam gear pulleys to come in anyway, so that's all I got for you guys on this one. The car sounded good when it was running, right? Just didn't want to idle right. And we had an issue where every time I'd step on the gas, the car would die, which is another issue that hopefully is related to this timing issue, that hopefully corrects that. But it idles great, I'll say that. It idled fantastic, even with that like half a tooth to tooth off. So I'm gonna get these idler pulleys ordered. I'm gonna overnight ship them. It's gonna be stupid expensive. Don't really have a choice at this point, but I refuse. I absolutely refuse to miss this dyno day. I refuse to let this 05 STI beat me. I refuse to be beaten by a Subaru. I will not do it. I'm not gonna lose to this car. So if you guys liked the video, hopefully I run out of videos to stop telling you guys we have problems, because I don't even know how many more problems I could be like, hey, we got another problem, hey, another problem. It's just a fact of reality. Like, this happens. Like, this goes back to that motivation video I talked to you guys about. Like, yeah, it sucks. Huge demotivator right now. I really don't want to work on it. Really don't want to look at it. I kind of want to set the car on fire, but I don't really have a choice at this point. So I don't know. I'm getting off topic now. But anyways, if you guys like the video, you know, do go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, cyan, chartreuse, green. Color of the day, we'll do pink. Pink is the color of the day today, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to watch me suffer more with this car or future cars, because you never know, we could have similar problems in the future. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. The universe knows, but we don't know. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Put in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully I have good news in the next video and it's not more of this lame, problematic stuff. Hopefully we can just get past this, get this car on the dyno, and make some, I guess on the bright side, the motor's back in the car and there's nothing internally wrong with the motor anymore. So, I guess it's all external from the motor now, which is a little bit better. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo!